meetings are intensely fascinating.
The adrenaline, everything. Wow, I'm in college.
You'll never have a chance to spend your freshman year over again. Eyes wide open.
To everything Princeton has to offer.
To see where they move from that beginning is really enormously exciting.
I'm here to determine who I am and who I'm going to become.
I'm Pat.
Dude.
Nice to meet you, David.
Have you looked at the political economy program in the politics department? I hope to find out what my strengths are and, more importantly, what my weaknesses are.
Have you used campus registration yet?
No, I haven't.
Not a problem.
There's more than just books. There's a lot more to learn.
You have to learn balance.
Maybe extra large to see how big that is.
Please be assured that we will nurture, educate, and civilize your children, whatever order that might be relevant.
I will always feel a special attachment to your class, as we will be experiencing our freshman years together.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed your speech, especially about questioning everything.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Princeton.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I understand you've been teaching.
I've been here for a while. I'm an old timer here. It's just that I have a new job description.
Dean of Admission, Fred Hargadon.
Each of you is the kind of person your classmates came to college to meet. If I were to start college all over again, I'd feel very lucky to be your classmate.
We had interests that had nothing to do with each other. We meshed like drops of water.
I'm not eating nuts for like a year. When you get that?
It really, really pushed me.
Yeah.
Social and personal boundaries break down.
Less than a week ago, we were complete strangers.
By the time I got back, I already felt part of the Princeton community.
Never again will you have 4 years of your own to simply explore, to try new things.
What's it like?
To learn things you don't even know you don't know.
The hottest dance is this side of Timbuktu.
Show a little inspiration.
I'm taking a sign language class.
Show a little spark.
And I've never really done anything like that before.
Facilitate a Model United Nations conference.
Radio station. I didn't think that I'd be doing debate.
And tell me something I don't know instead of everything I do.
When I entered college, I was a physics major while playing in a rock band. And I thought for my arts class to meet a requirement, I would take music appreciation. I thought that would help me be a rock star. In Beethoven, Opus 135, the scherzo movement kind of goes ba-bee-ba-ba-ba-bee-ba. It's in F major and it goes to an E flat, and the rhythm sort of had this I've got rhythm sort of whacked out feel, and I got to do this. I got to do this. This is music that, you know, just sort of engages every corpuscle. That E flat is to blame for my career choice.
Once she brings the kids into the store, Brooks, how are we going to abduct them?
I'm in the Triangle Club now.
I've never heard of that.
I've never done anything quite like it before.
Too good for us. Boy, that was easy.
My mother is Chinese. She speaks Mandarin and Cantonese fluently. And when I was younger, she tried to teach me and I rejected it.
I've never been involved in something where
But will people see it?
you are given so much control over the creative process.
It was my independent decision to take it. Not really because I felt I owed it to anyone else, but more to myself.
We're out there shaking our shoulders for the finale. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Because we're old.
I went home and I listened to my grandmother and my mother talk on the phone, and I picked up on words. It's sort of thrilling.
It just definitely has opened me up more.
Oh.
It's a whole new Zach here.
At the buzzer. Go! Go, you don't go! He scores!
High school's very different. High school, you have prescribed molds into which you must fit. And if you don't, you come to Princeton. But no.
There is no student out there qualified to attend who will not be able to attend because of financial issues. Students can come to Princeton and will leave debt-free.
College should be a moment when you get to play intellectually.
This is the time to experiment.
The point is to learn what you can devote yourself to.
I'm the first woman president in the 255-year history of the university. But I'm also the first scientist to be the president of the university. Anybody who is not going home for Thanksgiving or doesn't have a Thanksgiving already planned, I'm having people over. As a freshman, I had decided that I wanted to be a chemist. What's this? What size is that? By about my third year in university, I knew that I didn't want to be a chemist. I wanted to be a scientist, but I knew that chemistry wasn't the field for me. So it was a chance encounter, frankly, in the library. I stumbled across a paper that has turned out to be one of the great papers of the 20th century that determined how DNA, the molecule of heredity, is replicated. So these are overloaded. Is that basically what's happened here?
Yeah, well, there's a ton of DNA there.
And as soon as I read that paper, that was it. I was going to be a molecular biologist.
Tomorrow morning when you wake up, if the future is unclear, I will be here.
Freshman year is a lot of adjustment, I'm finding.
The seasons were made for change.
Be sure to keep a sense of scale. If some university rule or regulation seems onerous to you, such as not being able to keep your pet boa constrictor in your room, don't equate it to fascism.
I just wanted to say thanks. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Am I going to find my place in school? Am I going to feel comfortable? When does it happen?
I'm a junior. I'm a computer science engineer and a pre-med, so if you have questions about either of those subjects, I'll probably be able to help you.
I've lived in India all my life, and I've never come to the States before, and I've never lived away from home before.
Take things that you're passionate about, because you might decide that you want to major in like art history or chemical engineering, and that's great.
I'm feeling very independent. I'm feeling grown up, which is great because that's a form of education too.
If you happen to get a 38 on your first chemistry exam, as you are likely to do, don't let it get you down.
It knocks you around a little bit, and you're just like, oh gosh, I got to take a midterm exam this week, and it's difficult, and I don't know how I'm going to do. And you take it, and whether you do well or not, you go on, and you really enjoy it.
You are here to learn what the questions are and to ask new questions of your own. That is the way you learn.
That I'm supposed to ask questions is a very comforting thing to know.
Treat the next 4 years as a discovery of your ignorance, because some of us have been at it for almost 40.
I feel a little bit overwhelmed by the number of books there are in the world. Everyone is writing and talking all at once. It's really very complex and troubling. The Bar Kokhba War is the second Jewish revolt against Rome, which took place in the 2nd century AD.
Does this inscription leave any room for at the time of the Jewish war instead of during the Jewish war?
Another thing that I'm particularly interested in is the creation and perseverance of cultural stories or myths.
Of course, an inscription is always for propagandistic purposes.
Things like that animate the behavior of people in the present day.
What we don't want you to do is to transfer the concentrated acid to the dilute acid.
It's a material science class in the civil engineering department on the behavior of stone and mortar primarily.
Course 6.
I think what interests me about that course is the question of maintaining and repairing things in the world. It's living the life of the mind. We are not always given this privilege. It's very important to do it when you can.
Listen up, girls, if you want to make a news, you gotta get it in the room. You gotta.
My freshman seminar is on intellectual vandalism and plagiarism.
AIDS in Africa.
Stem cell research.
To meet in a small group and really get into a topic and tear it to shreds.
I think that humanity is sustained by God, but God is not sustained by humanity.
Thinking independently.
Claire, I'm sorry I didn't see your hand up.
I was going to basically argue the opposite, that sometimes I wonder whether God exists because we're here to see that He's there.
Find out the truth. My freshman seminar is going to be Santiago de Compostela and the Crusades.
Forgetting
the myth and reality of espionage and the spy novel.
My freshman seminar is the power of art.
It presents you with a whole new way of thinking about the world when you're sitting with a great scholar.
My freshman seminar is, it's called Shall We Dance?
A key place is this from here. The reason I came to this country from Israel was really to study at Juilliard School. When we got to Anna Sokolov, she told us everything we have done before, after she looked at it, was derivative and boring. Yeah. So we asked her, so what are we going to do? She said, go to a quiet room. 1, 2. Be by yourself for a long time.
3. Stretch those legs. Hey.
Until you find the first movement that comes out of you that is real and true to you.
Focus. So.
It was a movement that really belongs to my grandparents. It's a movement that is typical to the way Yemenite Jews move. And it came from the chest, and it was a circular movement like that. That way, and not looking. And when I found it, this was my true beginning.
I came to Princeton, I didn't know they had a Go club. I was hoping to start one. They have one, and I'm by far the worst players.
I think like most freshmen, I was a star in my little high school. I got here, and half the people in my freshman math class were the people on the national math team. That was, in some ways, a difficult experience for me.
There are at least two things. There's something and there's something else, and they're not each other.
For my senior thesis, I was studying the death knell of stars. And I remember watching the telescopes move, knowing that I was the one who had sort of chosen where they should look. And I really felt that I had become a scientist.
Wilson and the presidents who followed him all rejected the narrow idea of a liberal arts education as a preparation for a profession. Consequently, we celebrate when the classic scholar goes to medical school.
I think I want to be an engineer, yeah. Not entirely certain, though. So there's just this aspect of uncertainty that you can play around with.
The physicist becomes a member of Congress.
I'm going to be taking a Roman history course. It's random, but it sounds interesting. Who knows, maybe it'll catch my fancy. Maybe I'll become a historian.
Or the historian teaches primary school.
As long as you learn how to think, you can do anything. Here, it's what do you want to think about?
Well, that's my advice for now. I look forward to crossing paths with you and to being an observer and fan. We consider it our good fortune that you applied in the first place, and that once having been admitted, you chose to come to Princeton. Cheers and good luck.